So this is the Ancestry Timeline. It's, oh my gosh, they've updated it. Yo! Okay. Wow! Okay, so in the past, they just showed me Sub-Saharan African, European. Wow, they have broken it down even more. Okay. Hey guys, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because 23andMe has updated my results and I can't wait to show you the update. I've waited so long for this and I'm so happy that it's finally ready and I'm going to share it with you now, okay? They have upgraded their Ancestry Composition. I'm so happy about this update. They have done so many upgrades to their service. Look at this. Okay, so 91.7% Sub-Saharan African, right? So we know this from my results before, but now they have broken it down. So under Sub-Saharan African, now I have 44.9% Nigerian, 31.1% Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leonean, 2.8% Senegambian. Okay, so that's Senegal and Gambia. 0.5% Southern East African, 0.3% African hunter-gatherer, 0.1% Sudanese, 6.4% broadly West African, 0.6% broadly Congolese and Southern East African, 0.9% broadly Sub-Saharan African, European 7.1%, 1.6% British and Irish, 0.5% Spanish and Portuguese, 0.2% Scandinavian, 3.5% broadly Northwestern European, 0.3% broadly Southern European, and 1% broadly European. And then South Asian, broadly South Asian, so that didn't change at all. And East Asian and Native American, 0.2%. So this is the Ancestry Timeline. It's, oh my gosh, they've updated it. Yo! Okay. Wow! Okay, so in the past, they just showed me Sub-Saharan African, European. Wow, they have broken it down even more. Okay. Your Ancestry Timeline. How many generations ago was your most recent ancestor for each population? Ghanaian, Liberian, Sierra Leone, and Nigerian. From 1920. 1920. That's 2 generations ago. That's my grandparents. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my grandfather, he was born in the early 1920s. See, it says you most likely had a grandparent, great-grandparent, or second great-grandparent who was 100% Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leone. And this person was likely born between 1860 and 1920. And the same thing goes for Nigerian. Wow. British and Irish, the last 100% British and Irish person in my family could have been my second great-grandparent, third great-grandparent, and they were likely born between 1770 and 1860. I truly agree with that because on my dad's side, my grandmother's grandfather was either British or Irish. So that would be my great-great-grandfather. They truly said that my great-great-grandfather was indeed a European man. Spanish and Portuguese, that could have been on my mother's side because the Portuguese, they were there in the island of St. Vincent where my mother's maternal line was. So I truly believe that that's where that came from. Wow. And then Scandinavian, South Asian, I believe that came from my dad's side. Southern East African hunter-gatherer, that goes further back. Okay, so let me go down some more. How much of each ancestry did you inherit from your parents? This is my dad, and this side is coming from my mother's side. Most of my Nigerian came from daddy's side. Most of my Ghanaian, Liberian, Sierra Leone side came from mommy. Congolese side came from mommy's side. Senegambian and Ghanaian came more from daddy's side. Southeastern African came more from mommy's side. African hunter-gatherer came from mommy's side. Sudanese, 0.0% on mommy's side. 0.1% on daddy's side. Broadly West African came more from daddy's side. Broadly Sub-Saharan African more on daddy's side than mommy's side. And broadly Congolese and Southern East Africa came more from mommy's side than daddy's side. Now going to European, most of my European came from daddy's side, which makes sense. As I said before, my paternal grandmother's grandfather was European, so it makes sense that most of it came from daddy's side. British and Irish was mostly daddy's side. The Spanish and Portuguese, mommy's side. I just said that! Oh my gosh! Okay, that makes sense because the Portuguese were in St. Vincent, where mommy was. None of it came from daddy's side. Oh my gosh. Okay, Scandinavian came from daddy's side. 3.1% broadly Northwestern European came from daddy's side. The majority of broadly European came from daddy's side, and broadly Southern European came from daddy's side. So of course, most of my European side came from daddy. Mommy's side, seeing that only 1.5% European came from mommy's side. From 1.5, I truly believe this is way back. Let me see. Let's go back up. Spanish and Portuguese, 0.5%. See? Between 1740 and 1830, which makes perfect sense. 1740 and 1830, Spanish and Portuguese. That definitely did happen during the slavery years because slavery was abolished in the Caribbean in 1833. That makes so much sense. It's all coming together. Yeah, South Asian is from daddy's side, none is from mommy's side. East Asian Native American side came from daddy's side, none from mommy's side. And unassigned, most of the unassigned came from daddy's side. Okay, oh my gosh, there's so much more to explore. So one thing that I absolutely love about this is that when you look at your results, you can actually break it down even more. Look at this. Okay, so let's look at Nigeria. So most of my DNA comes from that region, right? Which makes sense because according to Ancestry, they said that almost half of my side came from Benin Togo, and Benin Togo is right next to Nigeria. So modern Nigeria came about in 1914. So we're talking about way past that. So my ancestors were in that region before the Nigeria we know as today. So them saying Nigeria and then Ancestry DNA telling me that about half of me is from Benin Togo, which is right next to Nigeria. It just makes perfect sense. They're showing me information about their style, about their fashion. They're giving me an Igbo phrase that I can learn and what it means. This phrase translates to the language of the eyes, describing the way of communicating with no words, only expressive glances, which is true because to this day, my mom talks to me. Sometimes she talks to me with her eyes. Craft and tradition, I have that information. Natural wonder, and my favorite part about all of this, guys, is that they actually connect me with folks that have recent Nigerian ancestry. So if I wanted to connect with any of my DNA cousins that were Nigerian, boom, they're right there for me. Do you know how much searching I've been searching on my own to connect with my West African distant cousins? And now 23andMe, they just lay it out there for me. This is incredible. So okay, so the first person, my predicted fifth cousin, who has roots in Nigeria, I found him on my own. Like I looked him up and we had a conversation, and great person. I really did enjoy talking to him. And this other person, who is my predicted fifth cousin, who has roots in Nigeria, I haven't reached out to her as yet, but I definitely will reach out to her now and send her a message, and hopefully she'll respond, and hopefully we'll be able to have a conversation. So this is just an example of what they're doing. They're doing this for all the countries, mind you. So all of my results, they've broken it down. I can read up information. I can learn more about Scandinavia. So here's a fun fact. 23andMe says that 96% of my relatives have British and Irish ancestry, which makes sense because I speak English and I'm from the Caribbean, and I'm from the English-speaking Caribbean, and Barbados and St. Vincent and Trinidad, where I was born, they were all colonized by the British. So it just makes sense that 96% of my relatives have British and Irish ancestry. So let's look up Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leone. They're talking about the mass, they're talking about a drink. Bruh! Oh my gosh! Okay, so this tea that they're talking about, from these flowers, This is what we call sorrel in the Caribbean. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. This is how we make sorrel in the Caribbean. This came from there. Oh my gosh. This came from, wow. It's crazy that someone can travel thousands of miles away and they can pass their traditions on to their children, who pass it on to their children. And in this century, we're still doing the same thing that they were doing back then. Of course, the taste is not going to be 100% the same because, you know, we're using the recipes from the 1800s, you know, and of course things change, but wow. So my opinion about the new update, I absolutely do love the change. I love the update. 23andMe, thank you so much for the work that you have done. I really appreciate you for doing the African Genetics Project and for getting all of those participants to be a part of your company. Thank you so much for that. And because of that, I'm able to connect more with even more of my DNA cousins. I'm able to connect with more African cousins. I learn more about their culture, learn more about their language, learn more about everything. My first African cousin and my second African cousin were both found on 23andMe. So thank you so much for that. And I really do love this change. I have so much more to read up on now. I have so much more to explore now, and I'm really happy. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you haven't gotten a 23andMe kit, you should get one. The link is in my description, so definitely get one for yourself, and see you in the next video. Bye.